Past assessment on information and communication technology in education, submitted by T. Kasturi, 2nd B.Ed English, Section B. My topic is Assure model. Assure is an instructional design model that has the goal of producing more effective teaching and learning. Assure is an acronym that stands for the various steps in the model. Assure stands for A. Analyze learners, S. State objectives, S. Select media and materials, U. Utilize the materials, R. Require learner performance, E. Evaluate. Analyze learners. The first step in planning is to identify the learners. Your learners may be students, trainees, or members of an organization such as a Sunday school, civic club, youth group, or fraternal organization. You must know your student to select the best medium to meet the objectives. The audience can be analyzed in terms of general characteristics and specific entry competencies, knowledge, skills, and attitudes about the topic. State objectives. Be specific. State terms of what student will be able to do, include conditions and degree of acceptable performance. The objectives may be derived from a needs assessment or a whole syllabus stated in a textbook, taken from a curriculum guide, or developed by the instructor. Once you know your students, you can begin writing the objectives of your lesson. Objectives are the learning outcomes. That is, what will the student get out of the lesson? The ABCDs of writing objectives are: audience, who are your students, behavior to be demonstrated, conditions under which the behavior will be observed, degree to which the learned skills are to be mastered. Example: 5th grade social study students, audience will be able to name at least 90%, degree of the state capitals, behavior when given a list of states, conditions. Select media and materials. A systematic plan for using media demands that the media be selected systematically at first. Decide on appropriate method. Choose suitable format, select available materials, modify existing materials, design new materials. The selection process has two stages: choosing an appropriate media format and selecting, modifying, or designing the specific materials within that format. Choosing a media format, a very complex task because of the following: vast array of media available, the infinite variety among the learners, and the objectives to be pursued. Selecting available materials. The majority of instructional materials used by teachers and trainers are off the shelf, that is ready-made and available from school, district, or company collections or other easily accessible sources. Modifying available materials. If you can't locate any suitable materials, you can always modify what is available. This can be both challenging and creative. Designing new materials. certain basic consideration must be taken into account when designing new materials. For example, objectives, audience, host, technical expertise, equipment, facilities, and time. Utilize materials. To get maximum learning impact from your presentation, you must follow certain utilization procedures identified in formal research stretching back to US military training in World War II and the practical experience of several general of teachers. To follow the 5 P's process to achieve this. Preview the material is the first one. No instruction material should be used blind. During the selection process, you should have determined that the materials are appropriate for your audience and objectives. The second, practice the presentation. After previewing the material, you should practice your portion of the presentation. However, do not over practice or the presentation will sound canned. Third, prepare the environment. Wherever the presentation is to take place, classroom, auditorium, meeting room, or whatever the facilities will have to be put in order. Utilization of many media requires a darkened room, a convenient power supply, and access to light switches. Fourth one, prepare the learner. We need to clearly inform the learners as to what the learning objectives are. This will help the learners to create a mental map what they need to absorb. Fifth one, provide the learning experience. We should be prepared to carry out the lesson with every prior step process in mind. This will ensure our success as a teacher. Require learner performance. The fifth step in the Assure model is to provide opportunities for learners to practice the capability being taught. Educators have long realized that participation in the learning process by the learner enhances learning. Evaluate. The final component of our Assure model for effective learning. Most frequent type of evaluation is the paper and pencil test. The most frequent thought of purpose is to measure student achievement. Revision. The final step of the instructional cycle is to sit back and look at the results of your evaluation data gathering. If your evaluation data indicate shortcomings, now is the time to go back to the faulty part of the plan and revise it. The model works, but only if you use it to upgrade the quality of your instruction constantly. Conclusion. Integrating technology into the curriculum is the best way to make a positive difference in education. There are many specific strategies that can be used to incorporate technology into our classroom. The Assure model can be used as a guide to integrate technology into your future lessons. References. Thank you.